What's going on, guys? All right, so hopefully this is working. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can hear me. It's been so long since I've done like a formal live stream. I know I did last week on the phone, but yeah, this is what's going on. We got Brian in here. He came just in time. Chase is going to give away a PC that you see on the thumbnail. Yes. So we're going to do like a live review. And now I have done a video on this in the past, but it's been a while. So I had this idea to start doing some live reviews and just kind of make this an interactive experience. But first off, can you guys hear me? Because I want to make sure that everything's working properly. I've never done this like whole like actual live streaming where like a game is being brought into the mix and all that stuff. Luis Ortiz, what's going on? Yes, perfect. All right. Yeah, just want to make sure that everybody can hear everything. And I got my audio to the right mic, which I did not do right the other day with Buff. So trying to get better at this thing. Volume is perfect. Awesome. Ronald Davis Jr. Thank you very much. All right, perfect. That's good. And let's see. So what we're going to be diving into today is this guy right here. I'm going to try to do this without pulling all the cables out, but this plug and play game console, which I guess is kind of, I saw somebody said mini PC before. It's not really a mini, it's more a game console, but I mean, at the core, right? Like every game console is just essentially a PC. So this has tons of games, and I think over 70,000. If you guys check the thumbnail, I think that's what I said in there. Whatever's in the description of this video and thumbnail is accurate. So there's a link to it and all that stuff. All right, and I can pull everybody's comments up. I'm liking it. That's what I couldn't do last week doing this off the phone. So Buff is the stuff. That's right. I got to film with him at 10 tonight. So we'll do this live stream for as long as this goes. But 10 o'clock, I got to film with Buff the stuff. And actually at 10 o'clock, if you guys are Buff Bagwell fans, the whole Marty Jannetty feud is going to get aired out at 10 o'clock. We had Marty on the other day. So we pre-taped that yesterday. So that'll be coming out tonight because we kind of, I don't know. I don't know if it was a feud, but yeah, it got tense. So that'll all get ironed out. But Jen Master B, what's going on? Who's greeting Brian? Love it. J-Rod, what's going on, man? Charles, what's going on? It's been a while since I've done this. So I almost hit the intro, and then I was like, oh, damn, it still says Retro Gaming Guy on there. So I got to change the intro. I want to get back to doing these, though. It's been a really long time. So this will be fun, though. So this is, for those that are just joining, this is the plug and play game console that we're going to be going through. It's got 70,000 games. There's a link in the description of this. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give it away. So you guys can, and what we're going to do with the giveaways now is you don't have to enter to win them or anything like that. What I'll have you guys do is you'll leave a comment on this video. And then I have got this random selector thing, which I'll share on screen for you guys at the end. And it basically just scans all the comments and just randomly selects a winner. Here's the catch, though. You have to be present in the live stream to win. So let's see. Live. Yes, sir. Love it, Jen Master B. And thank you guys for joining. I know it's been months and months since we've done this, and all with this format, if everything goes smooth, and we'll find out pretty quickly if it does, I'll be able to bring in guests and stuff like that. Now, I did just open up the memberships. A few people had emailed me asking why I stopped memberships months ago. The reason I stopped was it was just like I didn't see any value in it. It didn't make sense to me to like, subscribe to be a member of the Retro Gaming Guy channel for what purpose? It just didn't make sense. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some members only live streams, and we'll do like some big giveaways over there. So you get access to like videos before they go up and all that stuff. So did bring those back. And yeah, Retro Randy, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know. He disappeared for a while, but he's back, sort of. So let's see if we could do this. Here we go. So this is, let me find the controller. This is the system as you boot it up. So we get your all games list here. And you can see in the top, I guess midway through there, it says 70,424 games, which is pretty damn insane. I did not get arrested. No. So this is the background that I use for Buff Bagwell's live stream when we do those. So can't really, it's mounted to the wall, so I can't really get rid of that. Although I could go to a different room, I suppose. I'll keep you guys guessing next time. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Jessica, what's going on? And Sid, yes. Is this Botticera? I believe it is Botticera. Yes. No frills sort of Botticera though. It's not a fancy theme or anything like that. So we're climbing through here. We've got the, where do we go? We got the all games list. So 70,424 games on here. We've got, and I'll up the volume. I figured once I start jumping into some games and we test things out, I'll bring the volume up so I don't have to talk over it. You got your favorites list. We got some Amstrad over here, CPC. How many games in here? 1609. So if we dip in here, you guys should be able to see. What I like about this is like it's actually scraped properly, which is something that you don't typically see with a lot of these. A lot of the times it's just all over the place. So this is how, like when I put together Botticera drives in the past, this is how I would do it. I would always have video previews though. It looks a little bit better, but still pretty cool. You got the description, you got your screenshot. So, and then across the top, you have your cover art or box art, depending on your collection. See, I spoke too soon. Now we have a bunch that is not properly scraped, but those look like, well, I guess they're not duplicates. I mean, some of them are different versions. Yep, see, I spoke too soon. What's going on, Sid? This is on, so I've got 3 monitors in front of me. So left side, this is all coming from this guy right here. But I'm using a Cloner Alliance capture card. So I have this separate. That's going to one monitor over here. And then I can monitor what you guys are seeing on the left side over here. So kind of scattered all over the place. But yeah, not crazy about this collection in terms of how it's scraped. I initially was, but let's see what Final Burn Neo has. So 6,670 games, just a couple games in here. We've got, let's see, different sets. So some people get really pissed off when I call these duplicates because they're like, well, that's a Japanese version there. All right, well, so is this one, right? That's a US version. That's the world version. That's set 1. So like they do differ. But my whole thing is I'm not going to play like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different versions of essentially the same game. So that's something that drives me nuts. But at least it's all scraped, right? If you're going to play 1941 counterattack, 4 different times, at least it looks pretty universal. Atari 2600 is on here. Let's back out. Let's see. We've got Atari. We got 8 bits over here. We got 5200 ST, 7800. I guess there is no 26. Did I pass it? I guess it's not on here. Good call there. Why would they not have 20? So for me, I like 2600 the best, and I know not everybody agrees with that, but yeah. So I guess you get to live with 7800 here and 5200. Let's see what 5200 looks like. I mean, it's not like it's super high-end stuff, but it's pretty consistent at least. Let's go to the more exciting stuff, though. We got Amiga over here. What's your favorite front-end build? So, Botticera is what I'm used to. Started with RetroPie when I first got into emulation. So I guess Botticera, I like RetroBat too. I mean, it's the same deal, just the PC Windows sort of Windows side of it rather than Linux. So anybody know about ScumVM here? So this is like when I started playing games as a kid, you could put all the 2600 games on a floppy. You definitely could. That's one thing that throws people off, though. You could have 1,000 or probably, I mean, more than that. You could have 5,000 games that equate to the size of like one later game. Whoops, I hit the controller. All right, ScumVM. There's so many great games. Like these are just like point and click games, but first game, Full Throttle, is a great one. If you're ever looking for like, these are kind of casual. I mean, they'll drive you nuts in their own way, but Full Throttle is a blast. There's, I mean, everybody knows I'm an Indiana Jones fan, but this game right here was one of my all-time favorite games, still is. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Cool game. It'll definitely have you stumped too. So they're like problem-solving, point-and-click computer games, but there's so many great titles in here. Then Leisure Suit Larry. I mean, these are interesting to say the least. So it's funny how many like retro collections there are that people just don't, really get into. You got Monkey Island over here. Those were super popular. Brian Whitney, happy birthday this coming Sunday. Born in 72, Atari 2600 came out in 77. Wow. They are similar to Pandora Box, but I think Pandora Box is, I guess we'll determine that at the end of this because I really don't remember this console at all. But Pandora Box is like really hard to navigate. This stuff isn't. So I mean that's one difference. Like with Pandora Box, you pretty much just have like, I think they break it down into like arcade. They break it down into like different style of games. So like sports will be a category, fighting will be a category, but they don't break it down collection by collection. So you might dive into a game thinking it's, like a PlayStation version, and it's something completely different because there's so many titles that were for different platforms. It's really a mess, to be perfectly honest. Not to say that everything Pandora Box is bad. There's some that are better than others, but what's crazy is they put one game, I'm pretty sure, in Xbox, and it's always Jet Set Radio Future, which is relatively, for Xbox, relatively easy to emulate. But I don't know. I never got into it. I think it's in the top 10 Xbox original games, though. Was never one of my favorites. I mean, it's decent, but PC Engine has 421 games. Yeah, it's just one Xbox game, though. So I mean, you could add more to it. It at least starts the collection off for you, sets up the emulator, all that. But that game's so easy to emulate. The majority of the other titles, like if you put Halo on here, it probably, I know for a fact it's not going to work on this guy. It's not going to be powerful enough. Let's see. How many Game Boy games? 1,605 Game Boy games. Super Nintendo has 3,500 and what was that? 335.96. So that's a whole lot. And look at this. Not scraped. Is anything scraped in this collection? Nope. Not a thing. There's still good games in here, but it just looks like a mess. It's a good game. I think that for original Xbox, like when I think of original Xbox games, I think obviously Halo Combat Evolved. What else did I get into? I was just playing some today for the next video that I'm putting out tomorrow. It'll be a mini PC review. Minis Forum. It's the UM. I already forgot the name, the model of it, but I was playing 007 Agent Under Fire. Great game for Xbox. That was for PS2, GameCube, just about everything at the time. But yeah, this Super Nintendo collection is not put together well at all. We got Virtual Boy here. That one is, at least. There's not a lot of titles in here. Black is a great game. So Black was for PS2 as well. And I think I played it on PS2, not Xbox growing up, but great game. And it had the coolest cover art too, with just like the different bullets like stacked up, if I remember correctly. It was a great game though. Is Wii on here? What's up, Sonic? Let's see if Wii is on here. I don't think, yeah, it is. It is. It's right there. And I think it's another one where they just give you a couple of games. Did that say 1,000 games? That must have been the previous collection. Oh, I guess not. Oh, it's like, it's old games and like, yeah, it's not what you think when you think like Nintendo Wii, 1,000 games. Yeah, it's not. Would we have Super Nintendo games on here? Yeah, see, that's stuff like that is so misleading. Now we just started 16 minutes ago, but we just started combing through this. So we're going through this plug and play game console. Where's the camera? There we go. So I reviewed this a while back, but I hadn't done anything with it. And since I moved into this studio here, I want to give some stuff away, and I figured let's tour through this, and at the end of the video, I'll give it to somebody. Comes with 2 of these controllers that are like knockoff PS5 controllers, but they actually work. I mean, not, they're not top notch or anything, but they get you into everything. Let's see what else. So that, yeah, totally misleading on the Wii. Yeah, this is a cheap one. I think what's it, like $80 or something on AliExpress. Now we've got GameCube over here. Let's see what we got for GameCube. So just giving us, looks like, is that 4 games? I don't know, it's a decent amount of games. Soul Calibur 2, Star Fox Adventure, Super Mario Strikers. Now, if I remember correctly, and we'll dive into some of these games, but I don't think they perform all that well, to be honest. Like, Soul Calibur 2 probably does, but Super Mario Strikers, I think it lagged out a little bit. So you're going to have some pushback when you're, dealing with something like this that's inexpensive, not going to be, top of the line for like the higher end stuff. And GameCube is definitely higher end, in my opinion. So what's the duplicate game status on this console? So there's a lot of duplicates. I mean, this advertises over 70,000 games. There's a lot of duplicates. I mean, what I call duplicates, there's different sets, there's different region releases, but like a collection like this, there's no duplicates in here. But I think we just went to Super Mario, Super Nintendo. And what do we have over there? Let me back out. Super Nintendo had like 3,500 games, and you could see there's definitely different versions, like European release, US release. It's all relative though. I mean, like, some people like that, and I've found that out. Luminous Sage, what's going on? Yeah, some people like having all those different versions. I think it's just clutter. It's more stuff you have to comb through. I would rather have less, and I think less is more with stuff like this. But Sega Saturn, for example, 28 games. You're not going to have duplicates at 28 games. So that's a clean collection. So it's like they just jam them where they can, and where they can get away with jamming in a lot of titles. Like this looks like, if you're not reading the title here, this looks like there's 4 versions of this. Well, it's a 4-disc game. So stuff like that makes sense. I don't know the chipset on here. I'd have to open it all up and figure it out. That's the thing with AliExpress. You kind of just get what you get. They don't advertise what's in there. I guess they probably don't want you to know, because then you could probably make it for less, especially something like this, which is just like clearly 3D printed. And I'm not throwing shots at this. This is actually, I mean, it actually does work really well, but anybody could create something like that themselves, which at the end of the day, we could all do that. Like the Kinhank new game drive that I just reviewed, or game drive and mini PC, which they call a console. It's just an N100 mini PC, which you can get for $140, probably $150. So they try not to say all of that, because then you could just piece it all together yourself. No, they never do. They never do. I think I got to check, and that's the other thing with AliExpress is, I'm going to pull up I'll provide you guys with the link actually right here. But with AliExpress, the prices are always changing because, it's based on different currency and exchange rate and all that fun stuff. But let me see what it's currently going for, because every day it'll adjust slightly. But $79. I mean, I don't think $79 is bad for this, for a plug and play experience. You could definitely do worse, that's for sure. But PlayStation, I think, was pretty stacked. Yeah, 690 games in PlayStation. All of them, I mean, I can't say all of them, but everything that I've played in here performs great, because PlayStation's not super demanding. $100 price range doesn't even give you PS2. Let's see, $200 to $300 gives you higher end. Absolutely. I mean, the more that you spend, the more, the more capabilities you're going to have, for sure. But let's see. I don't think PS2 is in here. Although PS2 was in the new Kinhank, but that is way more expensive than $79. So yeah, there's no PS2 in here. PS2 has become easier and easier to actually to emulate, though. I mean, Xbox works. PS2 would work on here, but I don't think they've added it, right? Oh no, they do have PS2. Okay, 70 games. Well, let's find out. Let's see. What should we jump into here and see if it actually works? I stand corrected. I was saying PS2 is not here, and it is. So let's see. I'll let you guys pick. Pick a game on here, and we'll dive into it and see how it performs. Gamer Fridge, what's going on, man? Yeah, I mean, bots are so easy to set up. I'm surprised they didn't start doing it earlier, to be honest. But there's still plenty of those Android ones floating around out there for sure. Prices have just reduced quite a bit. God of War demo. Oh, you're going for the hard one first. Is God of War on here? I think it is, right? Let's see. Now my screen's a little bit cut off, so I might be okay. God of War right there. Let's see. And I'll bring the volume up on this. Let me know how the volume is for you guys on your end. Anytime. So can you guys hear the startup sound of the game? Because I can hear it, but I don't know how it comes through for you guys. We could definitely make that happen. So this might be a mess. I don't know how this game is going to go. All right, let's see. Want to keep these settings? Yes. You guys might get a slight echo. That's because the speaker over here is picking it up too. We'll make that happen for sure. That's the cool thing about this. I can bring guests on. They'll just stack up next to me. So, all right. So it's I mean, seems to be moving at least. Let's see. There we go. Just seeing how it. Man, it's been so long since I played this one. It's got a slight lag to it, but it's not unplayable by any means. This is probably the hardest game to do a test on, though. Yeah, it's a little shaky, but playable for sure. Yeah, slight lag for sure. Let's see, how do I get out of here now? That's what I don't remember how to do. What's the hotkey on this? There we go. I think that was it. So it's the home button and the start button together on the controller. So yeah, a little bit laggy on that one. Isn't this mini PC not some really old 1000 series Intel CPU? I have no idea what this is, to be honest, because this is just AliExpress and they don't give you any information on chipset or anything going on in here. They put these QR codes, which is actually a great idea. I love that. It tells you how to like fix no sound issues, download games, stuff like that, but it doesn't give you any information about what's inside here. And because it's got these little screws and you could peek in there, but I figure if I start opening stuff up, it's probably going to crap out. So, KL King, what's going on? Potato machine. Oh, that's right. Duh. Let's see. And if we go into where the heck is it on here? Refresh my memory on where we're going to find that. System settings. Clearly, it's not that button. Hope you're well. Let's see. All right, system settings, and then let's see. The bottom of my screen's cut off over here, but I'm not seeing anything. Can you play Metal Gear Solid? I never played that game before. I want to see if it works on this PC. If it's on there. I think it, let me see. Let me back up. Metal Gear Solid. Is it here? We have Medal of Honor. I don't see it here. Nope. Doesn't look like it. Just Medal of Honor. Yeah. Yeah, most of these guys sell a ton of stuff on there. Number one choice under settings. Let's see. Information, duh. So we got Linux, Intel, yeah, of course, the Celeron. Intel Celeron, CPU, 1037U, 1.8 gigahertz. 2 cores. Yeah, so it's pretty low end in terms of what's going on in there. Yeah, I forgot you can go into that on Batocera. Yeah, for sure. We're going to try to do some more live streams. Yeah, I'm familiar with Wicked Gamer, so I'd be happy to have him on. Yeah, for sure. So let's back out. Let's see if we have another collection we could dive into. So PSP is pretty, I mean, I guess there's some titles in there that are demanding, but the majority aren't. Xbox was just the one title, and I'm pretty sure it lags on here. We could launch Jet Set Radio Future, see how that performs, but pretty sure it's laggy, and I'm also horrendous at that game, so that'll be fun. Look who's here? Joe Cade's here. Well, I feel like there's not much of a demand for them these days, right? So, do you have NBA Ballers? It might be in PS2. Let me see. Let's launch this first, and then we'll see. Any suggestion, man? It's tough because I feel like everything's flawed. Honestly, some are better than others. Like the Ken Hank ones aren't bad. Like a lot of people give them a hard time, but you're going to get tons of padded, numbers in all of these plug and plays. Like that seems to be what they want to, really stress is just how many games they can cram on there, which is why I think they jam so many like Super Nintendo games on. Because they don't take up much space. And then at the end, they could say, hey, there's 100,000 games or 120,000 games. All right. Let's see if this lags. I'm not going to play this for long because I'm terrible at this game. Oh, nice. For sure. I mean, they just need to realize that I think they want to sell to casual gamers where the average person just is comparing game counts, right? Like this one has 30,000 games for say $60. This one's got 100,000 games for $79. The average consumer, I think, is going to go to, we're just like conditioned to go to that higher number. But those of us that have been through all this stuff know that the smaller account is actually probably the better one. All right, let's see if we can advance through all this. All right. All right, so it's not too laggy. I tell you, playing an Xbox game though on a PlayStation style controller, not my favorite. But you can see at least the speed that it goes in. I think it's a little bit slow. And I realize this is like a super popular game. Never been one of my favorites though. Yeah, it's slightly laggy, but again, I think it's like, oh, you can play Xbox on here. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it like a marketing, make it attractive with the marketing here. But yeah, it's not great. Definitely is. Yeah, so I think that I think configuring them has gotten better. Like it seems to be more and more user friendly with like the setup of these game drives and stuff. Like even the standalone game drives, it seems to be more or less just like one click and you can go through the installation process for things. Let's see what else we have here. So who asked me what was the last one that was requested? I think it was a PS2 game. Nice. Yeah, I know there's a lot that you can do to make them smoother, and you can go into like individual emulator settings and all that stuff. But it definitely is. It definitely is the latest Kinhank drive that I just reviewed. Everything actually works. A lot of times that you can get Xbox working on the older stuff, but it's a lot of work that you have to put in yourself. It's not truly plug and play on a lot of them, but the Kinhank ones is. What was NBA Ballers? That's right. Let me see what we have. So it might be in. Was that a game? Was that for GameCube too? Let's check PS2. Let's see. NBA Street is on here. I don't think Ballers is. Yeah, there's Street right there. Let me check GameCube though. I don't think it's in GameCube either because that's a pretty lean collection. Let's see. No, it's not in here. No, just what was it? Already forgot. Street. Yeah, that's true. That's why I try to stick honestly with like stuff like this that's I think is going to kind of underperform for the most part. I'll go in and I'll play like Super Nintendo. I don't even remember how N64 runs on here, but I think it's a pretty decent collection. 256 games in here. Now, I always gauge it off of if they put so Revenge is on here. That can be a tough one to emulate, but if we can get into PS2 and Xbox and GameCube on here smooth, this should be perfectly fine. So all of this is coming off of this plug and play game console from AliExpress, which is using an Intel Celeron, an older Intel Celeron. You can, yeah. I mean, it's Batacera at the end of the day, so you can add whatever you want. Just whether and Atari 2600 obviously is going to perform. It would perform on anything, so that wouldn't be a problem. Let's see how Revenge plays on here because that can be a laggy mess. I mean, a lot of times this game won't get past the opening segment if there's an issue with the console. Let's see. Let's do Bash at the Beach. And we'll have to go. Got to be Macho Man. And we'll go Scott Norton. Let's see how this goes. I won't cheat and lower his stats or anything. So Charles, how come you like Retrobat more? I'm actually, I mean, at the end of the day, they're pretty much the same deal. But what makes you like that one more? Yeah, that's valid. It always is when they first release, Lewis, but it'll come down. The B-Link products, man, they release them and then like within 2 months they're like $200 less. And because they fire out so much stuff, it's like they're constantly kind of making them, I don't want to say obsolete, but they're definitely dating, what they put out pretty quickly. The controls are different than last time I played this. That's the other thing you have to consider, like the mapping of controls, especially with N64. Just emulation in general with N64 is tough. I was just playing this game about an hour ago. A is the same, but everything else is different. Kale, did you say you bought 5 Surf 5s? Like 5 different units? For how much? That's incredible. If I'm reading that right, that's $400 for 5 different computers. The Surf 5 is pretty good too. Mapping on Wii is the hardest. I feel like it's easier to set it up though with the emulator. Well, yeah, you're right. It's similar to N64. It's just Nintendo made such weird controllers that were unlike, your typical button configurations. All right, so this performs perfectly fine. So we'll back out of that one. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it, Joe. What was I playing earlier? Oh, I sent you the picture of it. I was playing Daytona. It was not the original, but for Sega Saturn. Which, if I'm going to play Daytona, I'll play it on Dreamcast typically. Which reminds me, I haven't been on Dreamcast in a while. Let's check out Dreamcast. But I got sucked into Sega Saturn. I was like, why does this perform so much better with a D-pad? And then I remembered what I was playing. So Dreamcast, they didn't scrape this one at all. So no box art or anything on here. Do we have Virtua Tennis? Because I'm eventually going to kick Joe's ass in Virtua Tennis. We do have Virtua Tennis. I can't not play Virtua Tennis with you guys. Go with a Kin Hank X. What was just mentioned? X5 probably, and they're reasonably priced these days. I like the new Kin Hank. It's just you're going to have tons of duplicates with whatever you get. It's just the way that it is. But with this one, considering the price point, I mean, $79 for this, it's not a bad deal. Joe, remember that time I beat you in NFL Blitz and NBA Jam? Hyperspin. I hate hyperspin. I find it to be just so hard to deal with. We'll make it happen. So Joe's going to come down here, I guess. So we'll make it happen. I would like to see. Joe, what game would you want to play? We got to see. He talks a big game of Virtua Tennis, but I think I could take him. 2-0. I thought he had to take a little power walk after I beat him. We didn't even get to do a full best 2 out of 3. let's see how this works with this. I think there's a hole in his racket. All right. That's going to be Joe, but there's going to be more tears involved. It might have been laggy for you on your end. It wasn't bad. Uh-oh. File saved. Joe's over here studying. They always put House of the Dead 2 on here, but does anybody play that with a controller? Built a pinball and MAME. That's pretty cool. Mario Tennis. Ooh, that's Mario Tennis for N64. I bet that's a mess on here. Let's see, though. Do they have the GameCube one, though? Just curious. No. Golf. Okay. All right, let's see. They might not have even put it on here. I know that one could be difficult. I think half the issue, though, is the ROM that people use is usually a little messed up. What's all this? Interesting. I wonder if these are... so there are duplicates in here, I suppose. All right, let's hold this down. It's Mario Tennis, he said. Let's see. See how that goes. Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to do. It's a lot, man. It's a lot to comb through. I feel like I spend more time just like going through and just going down memory lane, remembering. Like that's why I like the video previews. It's not on this, but when I would do Bhattacharya drives, I always enjoyed the video previews because sometimes that scratches the nostalgia right there. So we can't celebrate yet. Usually this is all fine. It's when you start the actual game where it glitches out. I'm seeing that. Yeah, I've been following that. New Tony Hawk will be really cool. Yeah, it's, this actually isn't bad. I'm surprised. I mean, clearly there's some issues here, but it's not bad. Oh, I missed that one. This is better than it would be on a Raspberry Pi 4, though. There it is. The replay is where it's at. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but I wouldn't say it's unplayable. Just takes a while to get from AliExpress. Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, it's not like Amazon. We're definitely spoiled with the 2-day Prime deliveries. Let's do some Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Let's do PlayStation Tony Hawk Pro Skater because I'm seeing a couple people mention that. I would imagine it's in here. Oh, we got SmackDown in here too. Let's see if it's in here. Yeah, looks like they have all of them. So I'm a Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 guy, and I play the same level. If you've watched my videos, I play the same level every time. The hangar. I've played through the game, you know, when I was not in a long time, but when I was a kid, and I would still always go to that one level. And it's the first level, of course. Jen Gloria is here. Let's see how this works. PlayStation's easy, though. I mean, there's usually no issues with PlayStation. Bob Berquist is good, but Steve Caballero is my go-to. And I'm going to leave the music. Usually I have to go in and remove the music, but hey, if Papa Roach or Rage Against the Machine wants the $1 this live stream is going to make that badly, they can have it. Oh, and there's no. Is there music? I don't hear any. These analog sticks are pretty terrible, but blaming it on the analog sticks. And the buttons too. It's not laggy though, at least on my end it's not. I can't blame that. Controls are definitely different than what I'm used to, but I want to do the handstand on the top bar there, but yep, timing's off on this one, but performs right. Enough of that. Let's see. What do we have in the comments here? Gloria is always popular. All right. Oh, there was SmackDown. I haven't played that in forever. Let's dive into a little SmackDown. This is what Joe and I need to play. Oh, this is the original. I thought it was SmackDown too. Wicked Gamer in the house. Best plug and play game console. I would probably say the X5 from Kin Hank is good value for the performance that you get out of it. It's tough, man. I've reviewed so many, and honestly, they all kind of blend together. But the latest ones I've seen, they're not bad, but they're not I'm not seeing like a big difference from, you know, where it's been in the past. Who should we be? Always like Gangrel's finisher. See, I always go to I guess you gotta be Stone Cold or Undertaker. Let's do Stone Cold. And we'll go against let's go against Devon. And he only has the ability to go up to 2 of those special moves. WWF Raw. Depends which Raw you're looking for. If you're looking for like Super Nintendo, I'm sure it's on here. But like Raw for Xbox isn't on here. Just depends which one you're looking for. Oh, I wasn't ready for that. Come on, Devon. What's that joke? I just see 16 people for a live stream. Joe's smoking crack again. All right, so it's trying to figure out the buttons on this. Devon's got the DDT down. It's completely different than the controls are completely different than they're supposed to be here. X is the same. That's the only button. It was the same with Xbox too, though. Right into the DDT again. Really? There we go. The pile driver. Missed him that time. All right. We'll call it quits with that. I was much better at Tony Hawk Pro Skater than that one. So, I mean, it's got its capabilities here for sure. He sure was, man. That was tough. All right. So we're gonna give this sucker away though, because it's been a while since I reviewed this, but I don't need it. Let me see how I can get out of here. There we go. We'll do that. And full screen. All right, cool. So this is how it's going to work. If you guys want to enter to win this, and it's free, you don't have to, there's no cost involved or anything like that. Go to this video and just leave a regular comment and just put like entered or something like that. And then what we'll do is we'll test out this YouTube random comment picker that I found, which is at pickawinner.co. It seems like I tested it out earlier, and it seems to be a pretty cool tool to select winners randomly, where I don't have to make you guys like sign up and all that crap. YouTube helped me with my Kinhank. I think the Kinhanks are pretty cool. Like, because they're Botticera, you can kind of, first off, they're not super expensive, and you can kind of learn emulation. You can learn how to add new games to it. They're pretty stable. It's not like the old days of, you know, Raspberry Pis and RetroPie, where like you were working off of, like, in most cases, a micro SD card. Man, micro SD cards used to drive me crazy. I used to have a stack of them because they would corrupt so easily. What was that? When yeah, no thanks. Oh, the PS5 one actually isn't that bad. If I remember, if it's the exact one, and that's the thing with like AliExpress and like anything overseas, it's not always the exact same version, right? So if it's the exact same version that I had, I was pleasantly surprised by that one. I started that video review that I did figuring it was going to go south really quickly, and it was actually pretty good. No, so in the, just like, if you go over to the non-live side and just leave like a regular comment, you should be able to do that. And then I'll do a random pick. So if you go to, I'm going to open this up. Hopefully it doesn't give me an echo. I think you can do a regular. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull the comments from this. I guess maybe you can't do a regular comment on here because we're still live. It may only open that up after. I don't know how that works. Yeah, I'm wondering how that's going to get impacted for sure. I think everything is going to go up because we all know that they're just going to extend whatever, you know, whatever taxes they have to pay onto us, the consumer, at the end of the day. All right, I think I can probably pull it from here, though. See, that's why we're trying to figure this out today. Worst case, I'll just pick one of you guys as the random winner, but let me see if I can do it from, let's see if it picks the live. Let's see. Damn it, it doesn't work. Okay. So if it was a regular comment, it would have worked. That's pretty lame. All right, so plan B. Let me see if there's another tool. If anybody knows of like a giveaway picker, worst case, I'll make one of you guys pick another winner. How about that? Is Joe Cade still in here? He could pick the winner. So Joe's here. So Joe, you're disqualified because you've been on the live stream with me more times than anybody else. So Joe Cade is going to pick who wins from the. Is my audio off? I don't know. Can everybody hear me? Yeah, I know. Yeah, you could definitely, because it'll switch over to regular comments after. But for doing it, here, it definitely creates a problem. So everybody that wants to enter to win this plug and play that we toured through today, just hit enter, just type in enter into the chat here, and Joe Cade's going to select the winner from everybody that has said entered. Yeah, I've reviewed a lot of these things. A lot. And I just got the Chris Coolmod just sent me the 24 terabyte setup. So I'm going to comb through that and check that out soon too. What else has come in? I have a Jason Baker drive here that I can't wait to test out. I'm getting a massive arcade cabinet here for the studio though. And I wanted to put the Jason Baker drive inside the cabinet when it comes, but I've had a few delays with getting it in. So I'm just kind of waiting on that. So, all right, perfect. Lots of entries in here. So we'll let everybody enter for the next couple minutes, but then we'll have Joe Cade select a winner. I've got a capture card. I've got the Cloner Alliance right here. That's what I was actually. So this is coming off of this guy here, and that comes in from the capture card. I think we all have a beef with that. Slips Joe at 20. But yeah, got a capture card here that and that's actually the reason that I was filming, like you're probably asking because I've filmed like the actual screen. I had a few people complaining, saying that I was like faking the demos and just like using demos from captures that I had done in the past. So I did that, I think I did that twice, and then it just out of habit kept filming like that. And then I was like, why do I even care what two people had to say that were complaining about me doing something I wasn't even doing. So I just figured if I showed you guys like the actual screen, you would see then that clearly I'm not just pulling captured footage to fake demos. Like what would be the reason for that? Let's see. All right, Joe Cade, make a selection. Love the plug and play stuff on your TV. Thanks. There we go. He has selected the winner. The winner is Magic Matrix. Where was Magic Matrix in here? So you got to claim it though, because we're going to make sure that, the winner is somebody that's in here. But obviously if you entered, that was what, 3 minutes ago. So just Magic Matrix, hit us up and just say claimed. I didn't see him either, to be honest. I remember the name though. It's been here. There we go. Magic Matrix entered. So Magic Matrix, you got to claim it though, so we know that you're still with us. And I'm just making sure you didn't already claim it. But the winner, where's Joe's comment? There we go. Pinned right there. It's magic. Magic Matrix, we're going to give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes to claim it. I didn't see it claimed. If anybody saw it claimed, let me know, but I didn't see it. Poof, he's gone. Joe, don't disappear. You might be selecting another one. Let's pull up a timer here. 2 minutes. Let's do alarm timers. There we go. 2 minutes. Claimed. Perfect. You're good. So Magic Matrix, you can send me an email. My email's super long, but you can actually find it on the channel too. Customer service at retrogamingguy.com. Really long one, but shoot me an email or hit me up on Instagram, whatever, and just send me your address and I'll get it shipped out to you. Nice. Where's AEW tomorrow? What city? Got the magic in me. Nice. Sacramento. Nice. That'll be fun. Yeah, I went to AEW back in November. It was a good show. They didn't have a lot of like the top talent there though. Like Darby came in and just like did a run in. I think that who else was there? There really wasn't that many guys there. I was surprised. And ironically, it was a double taping. So they did Dynamite and what's the other one? Both in the same night. But I was really shocked. It was like more of like the upcoming, talent. Yeah, Hardy Boys are back at NXT on WWE. Yep, so still the TNA champs, but I think that's awesome. I was just talking about that with Buff the other night. I think that's genius for them to do it. They still get the WWE rub, but they can still work the indies. They can still do their signings and stuff and make all the money. They don't have to split it with anybody. They don't have to do the whole exclusivity to WWE. I think it's genius because these dudes, when we were in Indianapolis with them, Buff and I were filming afterwards, so I think it ended at like 5, and then we filmed with like Paul Walter Hauser, Matt Riddle, who else? Chavo. So we filmed with a bunch of guys afterwards. We were there like 2 hours, and as we're leaving, they're breaking down all of the convention. All like they're taking all the backdrops down, everything. They're breaking everything down, tables, chairs, everything, all around the Hardy Boys who were just sitting there in the corner, still signing autographs, still taking pictures with people. It was cool to see because they don't need the money at this stage, So it's cool to see them, going the extra mile for their fans. Wicked Gamer and Collector, thanks for dropping in, man. We'll definitely reach out to me, man, because I'd love to have you on sometime. We're going to do the live streams, more here on the channel again and kind of get back to what we used to do in the past because it's been like, man, I feel like 8 or 9 months since I've done this. It could even be more than that. I'm not sure. So, we'll get the audience back and all that stuff. Thank you, Joe Cade. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for the super chat. See, I don't have the super chat because the StreamYard I share it with all the other channels now. So I don't have the old, I don't think anyways. Yeah, I don't have the old super chat videos. And I was about to play the intro too. And I was like, oh, the intro's all Retro Gaming Guy. So I gotta update everything. Night, Joe K. Appreciate you. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Appreciate you guys joining me tonight, and we'll definitely do it again soon. And we got the memberships back here, so if you guys want to do the membership thing, let me know, or you can always hit that up, or you can even do instead of super chats, you get gift memberships, which is pretty cool. I got to figure out how to do that. So the next stream, I'm going to gift a bunch of memberships out, and that'll be kind of cool to get that rolling. But appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for joining me on the first one back here. But we'll get the ball rolling again and all that good stuff. Thanks, guys. I will be back. I was going to do one Thursday, but my schedule just got crazy this Thursday. So I'll try to do something next week for sure. But I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks, guys.